total.
Okay. So I think that's similar to season 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
So 4 and 4. Anything else we're excited for as far as season 2 goes? I know we talked a little bit about Pugsley, and you two mentioned hoping that we see Uncle Fester come back.
Excited to see if there's any continuation of the relationship between Wednesday and the Hyde. We do see her approach him in what I'm assuming is some kind of an asylum, though I thought we were led to believe at the end of season 1 that the Hyde broke out. So I'm curious, not of the asylum, of the, wasn't he in an ambulance or something along those lines being transported?
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
But
yeah.
they could have recaptured him, and seems like they did.
Right.
I'm actually interested to know who kind of the big bad of this season is going to be.
Yeah.
We don't really get a sense of that. I don't think it's going to be that serial killer. I think he had his 6 minutes of fame.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But we are told, at least from some reports, we can expect Christopher Lloyd in season 2. I don't know if that's just a cameo. We can expect Lady Gaga in season 2. Again, don't know if that's a cameo or how that's going to play out.
I could see them bringing her in to teach,
Mm.
be the new headmistress.
Yeah,
there
I
are a
guess
lot
the
of
nice
ways
thing
she
about
could
a
work.
TV show is that feasibly, you're right, they could have just tapped her for an episode.
True.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. And we know that she likes making cameos in shows like this. Like Gaga has shown up in American Horror Story for like multi-episode arcs. So this is right up her alley.
Right. Well, and wasn't this all came about from Wednesday's dance scene in season 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did it?
Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Because it went viral using the Gaga song, and I thought it would be cute to have her come in.
She performed at To Doom. Lady Gaga
did. Oh, okay. I think I missed that.
For Wednesday. It was actually pretty sick.
Oh, nice.
I'll have to send
we'll
it
have to
through.
check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can definitely link to it in the show notes for this episode.
And I learned
for
that
anyone
it's
who hasn't
To
seen
Doom, not To Dumb.
It's To Doom?
That's going to be the new GIF.
It's To Doom. They made a point of saying that like 1,000 times throughout the show.
Okay, well, they, whatever. That's not what it sounds like.
There's also Steve Buscemi taking over as the headmaster for
That's right.
Gwendolyn Christie, so that should be fun. He's always an interesting
And he
actor.
looks good. He's been in some of the first look sneak peeks, like very quick and you'll miss it, but he looks great in costume, so that should be fun.
I mean, do we have any thoughts on where season 2 is going in terms of the storyline? That seems to be kept under wraps a bit.
Yeah, it sounded to me like it was going to, like, they were going to further unpack the way that the Addams family history is entwined with the Nevermore Academy history, and we kind of got a little bit of that in season 1 as well. Like,
right.
Like the Morticia's past played a big role, so maybe that's where Grandmama comes into play. Now that like Morticia's like puzzle piece has been revealed, maybe this time it's Grandmama. Like that I think that would make sense. It would be interesting if it was like specifically tied to like female lineage, since like the main protagonist is female too. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering if maybe they'll be setting it up that way.
Yeah, it definitely does seem like they place more emphasis on the character arcs of the female family members than the male family members. Not to say that can't change, but that's at least been the trend so far. But yeah, I think my guess would be that it's going to be delving deeper, like you said, Pam, into that family history overall. And I'm sure there are going to be some mysteries and secrets along the way that Wednesday has to account for. And I think a lot of that thematically probably sort of folds nicely into the character development of a teenager figuring out who she is.
Yeah, good point.
I'm just
Well,
Oh,
what were you gonna
sorry. No,
say?
I was
No, go ahead.
taking a look at an article on Netflix.com about season 2 of Wednesday. And for Christopher Lloyd's character, it actually says he's Nevermore's longest serving teacher, a stern disciplinarian. He prowls the school hallways, always on the lookout for troublemakers. And it doesn't take long for Pugsley to end up on his radar.
So he's Filch.
I was going to
I
say
was just
that.
gonna say, I love that he was down to play a bit more of a meatier role in this, and I mean, Christina Ricci also she was heavily featured in season 1, so like
Yeah.
not like a lot, but she got some good screen time. So I love
Yeah.
that these Addams Family vets are down to play in this new world. I think that's really fun.
I think
And just to
it
get
helps.
go ahead.
Oh, sorry, Micah. I think it also just helps to lend credibility to the new story, to when you can get some of the OG actors in. It's kind of like an unofficial seal of approval.
Yeah, I totally agree. And then I was just taking one other look at this Addams Family photo. I'm not so sure who's standing next to Lurch. And I can send this to you all so you can take a look at it.
Yeah, please do.
Share my screen,
'Cause,
I guess.
yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It would not surprise me, especially given how I think under wraps the arc of this season is. It would not surprise me if they were dropping Easter eggs in some of these promo materials.
I think you're right. Let's take a look at this photo, though.
Presumably it would be a member of the family because it's a family photo. But I'm
Yeah, I don't
Not
know
sure.
who that is either.
looks like they have a walking stick in their hand, or who knows what that is.
I wonder if it's maybe a more obscure, minor member of the family that just doesn't get a ton of attention in like Addams Family lore, and maybe they're looping them in. I'm not sure.
Yeah, the only other character I can think of is Cousin It, but Cousin It is like a big hairball.
Yeah,
Right.
I think we would recognize Cousin It.
Yeah, exactly. Unless this is Cousin It before the hair really
Oh,
comes
maybe
into play.
Cousin It pre-hair.
Yeah,
Before Cousin It started using Rogaine and
exactly.
just
Went a little too hard there.
Trying to do a quick search here to see if I can figure out who this might be. But it's a good mystery to go into season 2 with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely when season 2 drops, we can try and keep an eye on it and maybe make some theories as we get the first episodes to see who we think it is and if they're revealed or if they're not. Because, yeah, that makes me think whoever this is part of the mystery, whatever mystery
Ooh,
we're
very
going to get.
possible. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of season 2, like we were saying, it is going to be split in 2 parts. So season 2 part 1 drops Wednesday, August 6th, and part 2 is out Wednesday, September 3rd. So about a month apart. And we will be covering both parts here on What the Hype. So if you're also excited for Wednesday, stay tuned for even more Wednesday content from us. And I think that about does it for our Wednesday primer. But thank you all so much for joining us and listening. We really appreciate your support of the show. We are officially a year old. Isn't that exciting?
That is wild.
Who's throwing the birthday party?
That's a good question.
Hmm.
Well, if you want to celebrate with us, the best way to do that is to be sure you're following us on your favorite podcast app. And also, please leave us a review if you would be so kind. That really helps us out because even though we're a year old, we're still a little podcast baby. So we need the help. You can also follow us on social media. We're at What the Hype Podcast on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Instagram, and What the Hype Show on X. Our website is whatthehypepodcast.com. And if you want to email us about anything, you can do that at whatthehypepodcast@gmail.com. And we highly recommend that you do that if you have any thoughts about any of the shows that we're covering or any of the episodes that we've done, because we do want to incorporate mailbag episodes periodically. So that's a great way to get your thoughts in, and you might hear what you've written to us on a future episode of the show. Finally, does a friend or family member need a good pop culture podcast in their life, or a quick recap of Wednesday and what to expect from the Netflix series? If so, share this episode with them and tell them that we're walking through different aspects of pop culture every week. And that's the hype on Wednesday.
We'll see y'all in August when part 1 comes out.
We will indeed.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.